What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. Guys, all of the announcements from Hot Toys this morning absolutely blew my mind, and I have to give you guys my reaction to it. So stick around if you like the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and let's get into it.
I give you Ben Thomas Showtime. Here we go.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. So there's been a few announcements, so I'm honestly putting all of these into the same video because this is actually the first time I'm honestly seeing all of these. This is a pretty true reaction from me because I haven't had a chance to actually dive into these photos for you guys all that much yet. Let's first look here at the Mark 42 2.0. Now, it does look like there's a standard and there's a deluxe version that we'll quickly look at. I have to say, first thoughts, his eyes look a little droopy. I do think the head sculpt for Tony Stark here is actually pretty good. It's one of the better head sculpts that I've seen right off the hop, but from a distance I like it a little bit more. This photo, his eyes do look a little on the droopy side, which is weird. Now, I've always liked the gold and red color scheme, so I think that's beautiful, and the Mark 42 is a great suit. Don't get me wrong. Some of these interchangeable panels look beautiful. I love seeing the mechanical elements here under the chest next to the arc reactor. That is pretty nice. Let's see here. Interchangeable armor showcasing different stages of battle damage. That is pretty cool. Look at the battle damage actually up on the gauntlet here. That's pretty unique. It's like a whole chunk torn out of it. Pretty cool. Oh, I like this. I like that he comes with this battery. That would be cool if you had kind of the Iron Man diorama setup where he's kind of, you know, like his workshop sort of area. Like, you definitely would want to see a battery plugged in there. That's very cool. Now, it does have, of course, the LED light up. It doesn't say here, from what I can see, though, that it has the USB. So that is a bit of a fail still, in my opinion. I think they're honestly saving USB functionality for Iron Man's for future 3.0s, which is not what you love to hear, but hasn't been any of these so far. Beautiful looking suit. Beautiful looking suit. Looks like he's got some decent articulation at the upper body there. I like the blue elements in there as well. That's kind of nice. You know, the superhero landing pose. It's pretty awesome. I actually really like this base too. That's unique. I like that it kind of props the figure up a little bit. Now, if you're not going to be brave enough to put your figure in a pose like this, though, I'd almost be worried it would be like too high off of your desk or too high off of your shelf, depending on how you display. Something to consider. See, I love the skin texturing here. And I think that the coloration in the hair is fantastic. You can actually see kind of light brown, darker brown, some gray in there. The battle damage, the weathered skin. Hot Toys is doing that incredibly well lately. It's insane. Even like the damage on the lip, I think is really good. The painting on the lip, that lower lip there, like that's wild. Is it bad that I still don't 100% see Robert Downey Jr. though? Separate rolling eyes. I mean, I think all figures at this point should have a rolling eye system. I've got the Multiverse of Madness Wanda coming soon, and as excited as I am for that figure, she doesn't have the rolling eyes, which for her I think is a huge miss. For these characters going forward, I honestly think the rolling eyes needs to be part of every release. I really like the blue in here, though. This is nice. The inner mechanical details with light up function. It's pretty funky. Now, you're getting a chance here to see the 1.0 and then, of course, the 2.0. Clearly, quite a difference in the scaling. So if you have the old one next to some of these new school figures, you're starting to probably feel like it's a little underscaled. These new suits are quite a bit larger. But to be honest, the old one is no slouch. It's still a good looking figure. And I think if you don't necessarily have them side by side, maybe in like a Hall of Armor display, you could get away with still keeping the old one. I don't know if you have to upgrade this, but it is a nice looking piece, that's for sure. Comes with a couple swap out hands. The battery, as I said, I think is kind of fun. And I do like those interchangeable swap out parts. This is also really cool because you can have this set up as a special edition exclusive where Tony is not actually in the suit. It's just kind of like the opening suit there from the film. That's pretty neat. I think the interchangeable like interior structure here, that special edition, that's one of those special editions that I really like to see included because it's functional for your display. It adds to the figure. It's not like a coin like we've seen from some of the previous releases. I didn't love that. I didn't feel like people were going to necessarily display their coins with their figures. I like special accessories that give you something to change the way the figure looks. So that's a pretty cool one. That's to be sure. Now let's see where the deluxe version is different. Okay, I see. So even here, it looks like more battle damage. Yeah, so interchangeable arm with hand. That's interesting. I do like that. Heavy battle damaged armors for the exclusive version here, and the LED lighted figure base. So that looks like that must be then part of the deluxe. Apologies there. Otherwise, figure is the same. This is good looking. Look at the battle damage on the chest there, how it looks like it's been like scorched. That's pretty crazy actually. And I like the figure proportions. It really does look like a man in the suit, which I think is a huge level of importance for figures nowadays. I noticed that with the Deadpool recently, that even though I think the original Deadpool 2 looked really good, I think that the scaling of the body underneath the suit has gotten improved. And I see that here too. This truly does look like him in the suit. His head doesn't look too small in comparison to the rest of the body, and the shoulders and arms look like they're just lacking the armor on there, which I think is pretty cool. Lots of looks for this figure. Yeah, so I'd love to hear from you guys. Are you picking up this new Mark 42? Is it going into the collection for you guys? I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Now, let's take a look at the next one that got brought up here. So we're looking at, of course, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Now, to be honest, when this popped up today, I thought it was the InArt one. I really did. I didn't know that Hot Toys was working on their own version, which, to be honest, I'm very happy about. Notoriously, InArt kind of paywalled this particular figure behind the 3-pack of Jokers. And while most people were like, that's cool because you get a couple different looks for Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, I don't really necessarily want 3 Jokers in the collection, right? Now Hot Toys has listened, I think, and they've given us this version. This is, of course, where he's sitting with Murray at the end of the film, right before he kills him, and it's a super deadly scene. And to be honest, this looks really good. Like, the Joaquin Phoenix likeness here is really strong. And while it does have the sculpted hair, not the rooted hair, I think that they've done it really well. I don't know if I actually need the rooted hair on this figure in particular to love it. And because I don't need to buy 3 Jokers in order to get this version, I think it looks pretty strong. What do you guys think of this one? What do you think of the likeness here? Like that he comes with his little clown mask. I think the tailoring looks pretty strong overall. Yeah, this looks pretty impressive. This looks very impressive. Now, how does it stack up next to the InArt Joker? I might do a this or that video on this Joker in particular. But for now, from what I'm seeing here, if it comes with the chair and it comes with a great likeness to Joaquin, he even has his little cigarette there. That's pretty freaking cool. Little notepad, he's got his little gun. Again, even the texturing lines, his age lines there on the sculpted face look really, really strong. I do see this as being something that's more appealing to most collectors, because I really don't think you need 3 versions. And this is really cool. The Murray Franklin show backdrop stage. And so you can actually have him kind of sitting in the chair. It's got that diorama piece looking to it. I think that looks really good. I do really like that. Oh, and even here you can get him to sit and have the gun kind of pointed. It's too bad we'll probably never get a Murray, but that's okay. The faithful recreation of studio diorama details with the LED light up sign and hanging lights. Looks pretty nice. Definitely a response to InArt. And even here, look at this. They've got the interchangeable, finely sculpted forearms and hands. So that's actually not something I noticed here on my first look, was he doesn't have the wrist joints. That's pretty cool. I like that Hot Toys is starting to do this a little bit more. To be honest, it makes it look so much more real. Very cool. I might do a this or that video on this one. Now let's take a quick look at the deluxe version. What's the difference, or the artisan version? Of course, it's the hair, the artisan hair. And honestly, again, this is clearly a direct response. To be honest, it doesn't look like it's a figure that truly needs the rooted hair. Like, I do think it definitely amps up the realism factor, that's for sure. But I mean, I don't know if it's 100% needed. I do really like the look of it though. I liked the sculpted though. I think it's good for either. I think if you're trying to collect the whole Artisan line, that's maybe where the difference maker will be for you. Or if this is your favorite Joker, this might be one to get. Perfect candidate for Artisan though, right? I mean, the way it's just sculpted back like that, slicked back, looks really good. And you can see again the difference here. So when I talked about my Catwoman a couple weeks ago, I was really annoyed by how the hair kind of came into the back of the face. So it almost looked like she was wearing a Catwoman face mask. This very much looks like it's sculpted with hair actually rooted into the skull instead of just pushed under. Love that. That looks really, really good. Oh, and on the backdrop here, fantastic. Let's take a look and see if they've said. So there'll be 4,000 pieces of this Joker Artisan. So something to keep an eye out for. I'm not too sure when that order will go up, so definitely keep an eye out for it. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves though. We got General Grievous here as well. Star Wars fans are going wild today because, let's be honest, the Sideshow Grievous was notoriously panned for being a pretty terrible figure. Now, I had that Grievous at one point, and if I could get the arms to stay on and make it not fall over, I think from a distance it still looked good. But it was flimsy, the arms would pop off, he would fall over no problem. Like, you could just breathe that, you know, like in his direction and it would fall over. So I know collectors have been like just begging for Hot Toys to make their own Grievous. And this does not disappoint. This looks fantastic. The lightsabers look really, really good. The hilts have a lot of detail on it. Paint applications on Grievous's armor itself look really, really good. He's got 3 modes of mechanical arm display. Very, very cool. Notoriously a huge, huge figure. You get that kind of electrical staff that he's got. I still have that piece from the Sideshow one floating around my collection randomly. The only remaining aspect of that Grievous I still have in the collection. The cape also looks really good. Having it being wired like that gives it some posability. That's going to be really nice. But this is really the way that I would want to display a Grievous. Now keep in mind that the amount of real estate in your collection space that Grievous is going to take up is going to be pretty wild. He's already bigger than the average human. And then if you get his arms expanded like this with the sabers, that's some real estate. So definitely have a good plan for this guy. But at the same time, with collectors and Star Wars fans wanting Grievous for so long, there's no way you're not making space for this guy if you want him. Well, look at this. You can even put the sabers into the cape just like how he does with, you know, he kind of opens it up and he's got all the, you know, the sabers displayed under there for him to be able to grab. That's pretty cool. I love this. I love this. And good on the blogger photos, honestly. I love that they've got the backdrop environment here. I think that looks really strong. I really, really hope that the joints have a little bit of die cast in them as well. Weight this figure down a little bit. Give it something that can stand truly on its own terms. If you can get this guy to stand no problem without a figure base, I'd be very, very happy to see that. He's huge. Now look at the realistic eyes that he's got there as well. Those look really cool. And it is saying this is a die-cast series figure, so again, I'm wondering where the die-cast will actually be located, because even when a figure is deemed die-cast, doesn't necessarily mean that every element of the character is, of course. They may at some point give us a map of where those die-cast pieces are, but at the very least, if they're in the joints, maybe that metal endoskeleton, I think that could be pretty darn cool. Let's just take a look, go back a photo here, make sure I didn't miss anything on you guys. Yeah, so they haven't shown us where the die-cast is specifically. But I love to see that it's die-cast, because the original Sideshow one was so plastic and so flimsy. I just never loved it. So, hell yeah, that is fantastic. Once again, maybe I'll do a this or that video between the Hot Toys one and the Sideshow one, but there's really truly no comparison. The Hot Toys one will be better. Now, this is also an exciting artisan figure here. We've got Scarlett Johansson back as Black Widow from Iron Man 2 appearance, which is one of my favorite appearances of her. I think it was actually her first appearance in the MCU, if I'm not mistaken. She's got still the long red hair, looks beautiful. The artisan edition here gives her that rooting. You know, Scarlett Johansson, in my opinion, she's so beautiful. I think she's hard to craft sometimes. This might be my favorite likeness of her so far. I do really feel like they've captured what she looked like at her age at that time, as well as, of course, the hairstyle. That looks really, really good. The body proportions are also getting better on their female characters. They actually have some shape to them, which, you know, I think is important because it captures the character. I mean, she looked physically beautiful in her outfit, and that needs to be captured. Wow, like that is an amazing photo of Scarlett Johansson. That looks like Scarlett Johansson standing there. She's even got the little mole on her cheek, just subtly. That's stunning, guys. Oh my goodness. That looks amazing. This is by far my favorite likeness of Scarlett Johansson. 100%. Wow, guys, wow. She looks so good. This is insane. Oh my god. Every picture. The outfit also looks like it's almost like a material, not like a pleather. So hopefully it does give us some of that range of posability. Because if you remember from that film, she's got a really cool fight scene in the hallway with a bunch of security dudes. And man, that's when she's like flipping and rolling and doing like crazy, like low posing. Yeah, that's pretty fantastic. Yeah, see, it looks like the range of flexibility might be a little limited by the outfit, but that's not a Hot Toys problem. Unfortunately, they're trying to recreate the look of the outfit, not necessarily the posability. I think she'll still be a lot more of a museum pose, kind of like this in most people's displays, but honestly, that's okay. This looks so good. Wow. Wow, and with the rolling eyes, like again, the rolling eye system just brings that figure face to life, right? Like you can give her that sassy kind of like looking up look. You can give her the rolling eye to the side, to the left, to the right, right? You like, it just adds such a huge element. And I think the only thing that I worry about is, of course, with the artisan line, typically the compartment to take the, you know, to move the eyes around is on the back of the head. So you likely have to kind of mess with that hairstyle just a little bit to get it popped off to roll the eyes, which for me is kind of like once you've done it one time, like that's pretty much how it's going to stay. But it does have the wool hair implantation, of course, as noted as part of the artisan line here, and the refined figure body and proportions. So like, again, so going back to that, I'm glad they've actually highlighted that here in the photo, because that's something that I noticed right away. I love that they give you an ass shot. Like, it's like, okay, well, yeah, like she's proportionate in the butt, but also in her arms and chest and legs and shoulder. Like the whole thing looks more proportioned. But yeah, I mean, if you're on Booty Watch, if your brother cousin's reviews there, he's probably happy to see it, I'd imagine. It does say specially designed magnet figure base, which, if I'm not mistaken, this might be the first time we've ever seen a magnet base from Hot Toys. I'm trying to think of any other one. But that is cool, because once again, they're watching what InArt is doing and saying, hey, we can do that, and maybe we can do it better. There is no flight pole on this base. So for that alone, that's a huge win. Huge, huge win. I would love to get away from flight poles and crotch grabbers and all of those at some point. I think it's absolutely necessary. Those to me make figures look like figures. This is going to look so good. I'd be excited to see how good the magnets are, because of course, notoriously, the Artisan Joker had that first magnet base, and that thing would tip over all the time. It really upset collectors, to be honest, because who wants to walk into their collection space and see their Joker tipped over on the glass? Nobody wants to see that with their Artisan Black Widow here either. Lots of hands. The magnetic display base is a huge win for Hot Toys. I really hope we see that more going forward, just for all figure releases. Hope that doesn't become just an artisan piece, because I think that's something that everybody's going to want. For me, this is a standout. This is a figure I don't feel like I needed, but now that I'm seeing it, thinks like this is probably the best Scarlett Johansson I've ever seen. Very impressive. Special edition exclusive, you got the Iron Man arm there. That's cool too. I like that. So yeah, if you get in on this early, that's a really nice little piece. And once again, it adds to the display. It's not just a coin in the collection to float around. Like, you can actually use this like this in a display. So cool. Absolute win from Hot Toys with Black Widow here. Now, does it say how many are available? 2,000 units for the limited quantity there with the accessory, and 4,000 units overall for the special edition Artisan. So 4,000 for the hair, 2,000 if you want that additional Iron Man arm. So something to consider there, guys. Now, we also have Avengers Endgame Iron Spider updated here. So let's take a look at this one. Once again, wild that they've gone back to the Endgame line. Is that surprising to any of the rest of you guys? I mean, Endgame is now long past. And, you know, the Thanos accessory, the Nano Gauntlet here, with the Infinity Stones, I've got something like that with my battle damaged Thanos, I believe, as it is. So I wonder if that's a reuse piece. The suit itself looks fantastic. I think the likeness to Tom Holland is really good. I've never really thought the Tom Holland likeness was a slouch, though, really on any of the releases. I think the newest blue and red suit one has the best likeness of Tom, and clearly the paint applications are improved every single time we see one. But this also wasn't, to be honest, my favorite suit for him. I think it's cool, but I'm kind of done with the spider arms, or like the legs that come out of the back look. We've had a bunch of figures with that lately, so to be honest, it takes up too much real estate space in the collection for me. I never want to display it that way. The Iron Spider feels like it needs it in order to have a completed look for this suit. So it's not that it's a loss for me. I think if you don't have this figure and you're wanting this Spider-Man, it's a great figure to have. It's definitely a win. But I'm not as enthused by this one, that's for sure. It does plug into the back there magnetically, it looks like, which is nice. So it's not just a friction fit. I love seeing that there's a little bit of magnet in there. That rock base is also pretty cool, I will say. His face is a little disgruntled, but I mean, he's in battle at this point, so I get it. Now again, he's got the flight pole in behind him here, so no magnetic display rocks or anything like that. The suit material looks good. There is a little bit of bunching and creasing, but that's to be expected. For the most part, all of my Tom Holland Spider-Mans that I've had, if you pose them up pretty aggressively, the material does seem to flex back into place after the fact. He looks a little pale, and it's like really dark circles under his eyes, which is a unique way to paint it. But I mean, at this point, I guess he's just been blipped back. And he's again in battle, so maybe that's the reason for why. He looks a little tired though, that's for sure. Ooh, you got the red, insta-kill eyes that he's got there. That's pretty cool. I like the look of that. I like that it looks like it's glowing a little bit. I'd be curious to read up on that a little bit more. All of the eyes look like they're glowing, so I'm curious if this has the LED battery in it. It does have the rolling eye system. Okay, sweet. So yes, all LED light up points are powered by a USB. So that's fantastic, because in order to get this level of brightness, if it came with batteries, it would look good for about 10 minutes. Now here's the difference between the old version and the new version. I'm not a huge Iron Spider expert, so they both look really good to me. I don't know if you have the old one, if this should be one that you absolutely need. With the exception of it being powered by the USB, I do think that that's a huge win. Otherwise, I don't know if it's something that I would particularly pick up. And you can see the scaling is a lot larger. Those arms are a lot bigger on the back of his back there. Overall, the design is slightly different, but pretty darn close. I think that they nailed the first version though pretty well. So it's interesting that they've chosen to give us this one upgraded. Let's just take an overview here. Look, it looks like he comes with a lot of the same webbing that we normally get, but I do like all of the different eye plates that he comes with, including the different colors. That is cool. Yeah, great figure. I'm surprised that they're going back to the Endgame line though, if anything. Let's see what the deluxe version gives us here. Oh, so it's the Artisan. So once again, instead of it being deluxe, it's considered Artisan, and it does come with rooted hair. So this is the first Tom Holland Spider-Man we've seen with rooted hair. And it's a shorter haircut, and I will say they've done a good job. I was curious how shorter cuts would look in Artisan prototype photos. This looks pretty nice. I'll give them credit. Now, of course, we've never even had an Artisan figure in hand yet. We know that the Joker is coming soon, but nobody's actually had one in hand yet. So I'm still just like subtly nervous that the artisan line, the hairstyles aren't going to look as good as they do in the original photos here. I'm hoping that I'm wrong on that, to be honest, because a lot of people have sunk a lot of money into that so far, so I think it's going to be important for them to really nail it. 3,500 pieces for the artisan line. Now, I'm sure all of these pre-order windows are going to be going up over the next day or two here if they haven't already, so keep an eye out there. Oftentimes, these pre-order windows for all these figures go up kind of in the middle of my workday here. I'm out on the West Coast, so we'll see. But yeah, I like that look. 3,500 on the artisan. Now, this is something that I did not expect. We've got a new Darth Vader, battle damaged. Look at the twisted arm that he's got there that's all melted down. So nasty. And now we've got the full Hayden Christensen likeness here, burned sculpt. He's got his burned leg, tattered cape. Like, holy crap. Oh my goodness, guys. What? What? Insane. Oh, it's so gnarly looking. Oh my god. I love it. I love that they've given rolling eyes. That's awesome. The battle damage pieces are insane. The skin underneath being all burned like that at the chest and the arms. Oh my god. That's crazy. I mean, what? Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Now, I guess my only question is, where are they pulling this reference from? Because when Anakin originally gets super battle damaged, he's not wearing the Darth Vader uniform, of course, in Revenge of the Sith. He's obviously been upgraded to his Darth Vader self and then been battle damaged after the fact. So maybe this is referencing a video game or another series, like an animated series that I'm not familiar with. You guys can let me know in the chat what this is a reference to, because I don't think I've ever seen Darth Vader with this much battle damage on. This is wild. Wow, though. The paintwork on that skin is insane. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think that even the Hot Toys 2.0 Two-Face needs to be improved, paint application wise. Because let's be honest, even that original Hot Toys 2.0 Two-Face is a little bit lackluster on the battle damage side in terms of his like melted skin pieces. This looks truly like melted skin. It's disgusting. You know what this also makes me want? Deadpool's head. Give us the Deadpool sculpt with that Deadpool release. If they can make him look like a shriveled avocado here as Darth Vader, they can give Ryan Reynolds his shriveled avocado head for Deadpool. Let's be honest. Let's get it here, okay? I want that figure to come with a head sculpt. This truly looks amazing, though. I have nothing bad to say about this at all. I just don't know exactly where the reference is from, so you guys can let me know. Crazy. The base really holds him up high as well, but again, I'd imagine it's the LED with USB because that lightsaber looks really, really bright. Adjustable theme figure base with LED light up function. I do like that base though, that looks really nice. I wish, okay, so again, they've now shown us another figure here that has the magnetic base. This figure is propped up off of your display quite high. Why is this not a magnet display? This seems like this would be like a perfect candidate for that, especially since he's got a metal leg in this one. Like, wouldn't it have been easy to get him magnetically displayed here? Why do we have a crotch grabber for this? Why is this not magnet? How does that make any sense? Wild. But either way, you know, let's be honest, I don't expect them to be on par every single one here. But the LED light up powered by USB. So yep, it is confirmed. It is USB. Thank God. The realistic battle damage is insane, and the tatter cape is beautiful. Even like the singed edges on the outfit here, on the uniform, wild. Look at this piece, the special edition exclusive. Like, he looks like the Phantom of the Opera. What? Like, it's barely a mask left. That is a cool edition, like a special edition though. Once again, just not something that's just a coin. Like, this is an absolute display piece. I love it. I absolutely love this. This is amazing. What a good day. What a good day to be a Hot Toys collector here. Let's see. Are they telling us quantity numbers? They are not showing us any quantity numbers yet. So I guess that remains to be seen. Let's look at this next one. Maybe this one will say. This one also doesn't show quantity numbers in the description, which is interesting. Let's see, the Battle Damage Deluxe version does come with a Darth Vader helmet with a silhouetted cape. That's pretty cool. So you actually have that, like, it looks like sculpted cape, basically. But look at the display you can get out of that. Oh my goodness. Get the special edition faceplate. They're just going all in on Vader lately. If you are a Vader collector, this is a day for you guys. This is wild. I think they've made the battle damage look better than even the last kind of sliced head sculpt that we got for the Anakin figure. That figure's no slouch, don't get me wrong, but wow. Let's see here. I want to see if we can... Oh, look at this sculpted cape. That looks freaking good, guys. Oh my god. What? I love that. I absolutely love that. That is almost worth the cost of admission alone. They got to do this more for Batman. They got to do this more for, like, figures even like Moon Knight. Like, how is this the first time we've ever seen something like this? This is so good. Now, I mean, it does take up a lot of real estate in this display space. I'll give it that. So unless you have that real estate, you're probably not going to display it like this, but that looks like lifelike. Damn. Damn. Every picture. I absolutely love it. Let's move on. Amazing. That's it. That's all of them for today, guys. Wild. Absolutely, absolutely wild. So guys, I want to hear from you in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on all of the releases today? To be honest, these look so good to me. I think my favorites definitely have to be that Joaquin Phoenix Joker, because I'm really happy I can get him just by himself now in his chair. I think that that's a great way to do it. While I thought the art ones were amazing, I did not want to get paywalled behind 3 figures and have to sell one and blah, blah, blah. None of that. The Vader was not something I was expecting to see, but it's shockingly good, especially with that sculpted cape. That looks so, so cool. And I honestly really was impressed by how good that Scarlett Johansson sculpt was. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and a wonderful contender for the Artisan figure lineup. Now, keep in mind, like I said earlier in the video, a lot of these pre-order windows are going to be going up here over the next couple days and weeks, I'm sure, so really stay tuned. If I see any updates, I'll post them if I can to help you guys out. For me, of any of these, if I'm going to go on any of them, it will be that Joker. I am really excited to see Grievous, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to put a Grievous in my collection. I've had him before, he took up too much space. But I'm very happy for the people who have been petitioning for a die-cast Grievous for years, almost as long as I've been collecting. Today is a great day to be a Hot Toys collector. But guys, if you liked the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and we'll catch you on the next one, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.
Wow, what a great audience. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's gone. It's all gone.